It's such a different world because it's a particular audience that's used to getting a particular product, a prototype of what the lead looks like, who they are, coming from the same background, area of the country, same religion. And when you step outside of it, you see the audience respond in not the best way. And so like that's kind of been it's crazy. And it's not necessarily that same way for Bravo. So I think there's the difference. There's a lot of complexities to it, which I'm sure you dipped into it. For example, having a friend named Hannah Brown and then people being upset that you had it was.
Oh my God, it was a whole thing, Rachel. I mean, I had my friend, one of my best friends, her name is Hannah Brown, and she's been on my show a million times. And I had her on, like, I think it was after I started doing the Bachelorette recap. So I started to have some people who came from that world listen to my show. And I was like, oh, my friend Hannah's here or whatever, she had been on the show a million times, but this was her first time with that new sort of audience. And I was getting all these messages saying like, how dare you have her on? And I was like, what? Like at first I didn't even understand. And then people were sending me like links to this controversy. And I was like, I didn't even know this controversy exists. Like I try to keep up with everything that's going on in the world of pop culture, but it's impossible to keep up with everything. And people were sending me like very angry DMs about having my friend on. And then I had to explain to people like, no, that was not that Hannah. That was a different Hannah.
Can we talk about this? Because unless you're, and like Rachel and I always say, like, unless somebody's really on the show or as a contestant or a lead or some way affiliated with the show, they don't understand, like, especially through social media, Bachelor Nation, and the amount of hate and cruelty that is spread throughout. I think to anyone who probably is coming off the show, but even for you who was simply doing some Bachelor recaps, you started to see it a little bit. Like, is it okay? I've tried to explain this. So, like, side note, Emmanuel Acho, who hosted After the Final Rose this year, him and I have formed a friendship, and we've had a couple conversations about like, kind of what is Bachelor Nation like, and after I host this, what kind of like feedback do you think I'm going to be receiving? And I told him, I was like, buckle up, because I don't think anyone can prepare themselves for the amount of hate and nastiness that people from Bachelor Nation who have been fans, and especially just like who can, type whatever they want, whatever hate they want at their fingertips and hit send. Like, you can't really fathom it until you start to see it. Were you blown away by the response for simply having a friend named Hannah Brown on your show?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of what I was alluding to, is like it just became a lot. And I don't know, especially at the time, I just wasn't necessarily like equipped to deal with it. When I started that, I had been going through like a lot of health stuff in my personal life, and it was the start of the pandemic. So there was like all this stuff going on. And like, that's just the last thing I have the like bandwidth to deal with in my life. But in general, even in the world of Bravo or Housewives, it's like, I think I sort of used to be of the opinion like, oh, you're on TV, it's like something you sign up for. And now that I'm seeing it a little more closely, no one can ever be prepared to even just get one of those really nasty comments that you would see online. And nowadays, there are so many different portals for people to send that to. You can't just hop off Twitter. I mean, if people want, they can get a mean message to me or you if they want. They can do it through a podcast review. They could do it through an email address, through a PR person, through a Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, any fucking service they can find. They'll find a way to get that message to you. And no human is equipped to deal with even just one of those. And usually when you get those mean messages, at least for me, and I don't get nearly the amount that, you guys probably get for being on TV, but it's like, they don't teach you how to deal with that. And just because you're on TV, you're supposed to just say, okay, yeah, like I signed up for that. It's like, no, I didn't sign up to get this kind of mean thing.